Hello, dear friends. Myself, Dr.K.N.Gaikwad, Department of Botany, KTHM College, Nasik. Title of our paper is Taxonomy of Angiosperm and Plant Ecology. Botany paper first. We have started the chapter Ecological Grouping of Plants. This is the last chapter as per our syllabus. And last time we have completed study of hydrophytes. Now today we are going to learn here study of xerophytes and halophytes. Last time we have seen the classification of the plants on the basis of water supply. Hydrophyte, xerophytes, mesophytes, halophytes, and there is one ecological group that is epiphytes. Out of that we have completed hydrophytes. And today we are going to see here xerophytes. The plants which are grow in xeric condition such as desert, alpine peaks, sandy hills are known as xerophytes. In xeric conditions, there is acute shortage of water and the rate of transpiration is very high. The xerophytic plants are generally modified into form and show many morphological as well as anatomical features to retain available water in the plant body. The major factors of xerophytic habitats are scarcity of water, high temperature, strong light intensity, and high velocity of wind. Plants fail to absorb water from the soil due to high concentration of salts even if the water is in abundance. Plants also fail to absorb water in cold soils and acidic soils. Rocky soils are incapable of storing water and hence the plants become xerophytes. Xerophytes grow on slopes as well as ravines where the water runoff is very rapid, and due to low rainfall, plants grow in small xerophytic shrubs. Percolation of water is in sandy soil result in xerophytic vegetation. They are modified to withstand unfavorable conditions. Xerophytic plants are mostly grow in desert, plain peaks, sand hills, where scarcity of water is there or shortage of water is there. Now let us see classification of xerophytes. Depending upon the ability of xerophytes to withstand unfavorable situation, they are classified as first one drought escaping. They are also called ephemeral annuals. Then drought evading. They are called succulents. Drought enduring. They are called non-succulent perennials. And last one drought resistant. There are the four types of the xerophytes are there. Now let us see one by one. Drought escaping, that means ephemeral plants. They are mostly ephemerals or annuals, very short growing and flowering season, complete their life cycle within 4 to 6 weeks, found growing in semi-arid region having a brief rainy season. They are mostly found in arid zones having brief rainy season. These annuals or ephemerals complete their life cycle within short period. That's why they are called drought evaders. For example, Argemone mexicana, Solanum xanthocarpum, Cassia tora, Alyssum allysoides, this plant, Arabidopsis thailandia, etc. Second one, drought evading. That means succulent plants. These plants are very small in size, have restricted growth and require very low amount of water for growth and development. They conserve whatever little amount if light they get and evade drought. These plants possesses fleshy organs, stem, leaves and roots which accumulate large amount of water during rainy seasons. And the rate of transpiration is very less because of sunken stomata. The root is well developed and absorb available water. The root system is shallow, stem swollen, leaves are thick, leathery and succulent, and stored water enable them to resist effect of drought condition. They also enable them to continue growth, flowering and fruiting. Examples of these plants are nothing but the Insilia farinosa, Ambrosia domosa, aloe vera, euphorbia, opuntia, nucleobecia, etc. Third grouping of xerophyte is nothing but the drought enduring, that means non-succulent. Non-succulent perennials, that means life cycle is more than 2 years. These plants are also show slow growing shrubs, that means stunted habits are there. They are small and have stunted growth. They endure long dry periods when there is acute shortage of the water. Extremely restricted growth, leaves wilt and fall down during unfavorable season. To check the rate of transpiration, resume growth in turn of favorable growth. These drought enduring non-succulent plants are withstand long dry period. The growth is very restricted. After rainfall, when the water is available to the root, the plant resume their growth. They exhibit rapid growth and form extensive root system to trap water from soil and efficient manner. Examples of this group is nothing but the Calotropis procera, Acacia nilotica, Gigipus jujuba, that means babul plant, boar plant, etc. Another example is the Laria tridentata. Creosote bush is there. Now see in the diagram, this is a dry period and in favorable condition, this plant becomes shows the flowering. And last one, the succulents. Succulent plants possesses fleshy organs. They accumulate large number of the amount water and resist drought. Have well extended root system for water absorption. And with the help of stored water, they continue the growth. Example, agave, euphorbia, aloe vera, opuntia, etc. Now let us see what are the actual morphological adaptations of the xerophytes. They are provided with very deep and extensive root system. That means root system is well developed for absorb more and more water. It is almost 129 feet below the soil. Now this is the root system. The stem is stunted in growth and form bushy appearance. They are woody in nature, dry, hard, rigid and covered with thick bark. Sometimes waxy coating is also seen. For example, Calotropis. Stem become fleshy, green, leaf-like. They are called phylloclode. Covered with spines. For example, opuntia, euphorbia, like this. Sometimes stem of many xerophytes are prickly and spiny all over. For example, Solanum xanthocarpum. Stem is covered by hairs or waxy coating. And stem usually stunted, bushy or shrubby growth. In some plant, presence of underground stem to tide over the dry season, for example, saccharum. Presence of hard and woody stem, acacia, prosopis, gigipus. Caparis aphylla have completely distended with leaves to check transpiration. That's why the name of the species is aphyla. Absence of leaves. Only stem is green and perform the photosynthesis. Now this diagram shows the prosopis with woody appearance. Leaves are reduced to small, scaly or spiny structures. Example: ruscus, asparagus, that means shatavari, casuarina means shuru plant. Macrophyll leaves are present in many xerophytes. Macro means small. Small leaves are present to check the rate of transpiration in many xerophytes. Plants like nerium have shining surfaces to reflect away light and heat. If you observe the leaves of nerium, that means the canary, there is shiny appearance is there to reflect the light and to check the rate of transpiration. The leaves of many xerophytic plants have waxy coating. Thick waxy coating is there on the upper surface. They are also covered with the dense mass of hairs. Now let us see internal adaptation. What are the internal modifications are there? If we take the section of root, stem or leaves, we will get the presence of thick cuticle. Cutin deposition is there to check the loss of water on the upper and lower surface of the leaves. Epidermis are multi-layered. That means they are called thick epidermal walls. If we take the section of nerium leaf, you will get the 3 or 4 layer epidermis are there to check the loss of water. Presence of multiple epidermis on leaves, for example, nerium. Multiple epidermis are there. Stomata are greatly reduced in number and is restricted to lower side. And the type of stomata are sunken. If we take the section of mesophytic or hydrophytic plant, there is a simple type of the stomata are there because there is no problem of the water. But in case of xerophyte, stomata are greatly reduced and they are sunken type to check the loss of water. And position of the stomata are situated in deep pits and those pits are filled with hairs. For example, nerium. Now see, this is the diagram of TS of leaf. This is the TS of leaf of non-succulent xerophyte. Now here, this is the thick cuticle is there to check the loss of water, and this is the multiple 1, 2, 3 layer epidermis are there. Then here mesophyll cells are differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. There are the spongy parenchyma and there are the palisade cells are there. On lower epidermis, you will get the sunken stomata. Now this is the cavity is there. Some stomata are deeply situated in the epidermal cells and they are less in number. This is also one of the stomata. This one. To the lower side, epidermis is also at mid-deep region. It also multiple epidermis. Then sclerenchyma cells or mechanical tissues are well developed, and they are the xylem and the phloem. They are covered by endodermis and pericycle. This is the starchy bundle sheath is there. And there are the water content cell, that is xylem, protoxylem and metaxylem are well developed. Muscular bundles are also present toward the lamina region. And this is a diagram of roll leaf of agrogreon species. That means presence of cuticle, presence of multiple epidermis, well development of xylem and the phloem, well development of the mechanical tissue, that is cortical, and presence of sunken stomata. These are nothing but the xerophytic characters. Here vascular tissues are well developed and they are lignified with several layer bundle sheath. Mechanical tissues are well developed and present in cortex as well as in stela region. And in some plant, oil ducts and resin ducts are also often present. Now, say characteristics of internal sclerenchyma hypodermis, for example, pinus needle. The spongy parenchyma cells are comparatively fewer and have very small intercellular spaces. Presence of small cells and small vacuoles to maintain protoplasmic stability. The protoplasm is not easily pulled away from the cell wall and therefore the plasmodesmata do not get ruptured. Well development of xylem and the phloem. Now this diagram shows the TS of Pinus. Pinus plant belong to the gymnosperm and gymnosperms are maximum gymnosperm shows the xerophytic characters. Now here stomata are sunken, deeply situated and develop the cavity is there. And that cavity become maintain the temperature of the inner cells. Then presence of tracheidal cells, albuminous cells are also present. They give the mechanical support to the plant body. Sclerenchyma are well developed. They are the all sclerenchyma. Thick wall lignified cells are there. And at the center you will get the xylem and the phloem. In this way, we have completed the Xerophytes. If you take the section of leaf of any Xerophyte, some characteristic features are developed. Leaves of the Xerophytes are highly reduced, scale-like. Sometimes leaves are modified into the spines. Internally, cuticle is very thick. For example, Agave americana, aloe in succulent Xerophytes. Sometimes layer of waxy grains is present outside the cuticle. For example, Salix, Glaucophylla. Epidermy is layer, example Nerium, to prevent the loss of water. And stomata are restricted toward the lower side. Vascular bundles are well developed and mechanical tissues are also well developed in Nerium plant as well as in Pinus plant. Now next group of our syllabus are nothing but the halophytes. Now this is the seashore region, coastal area and all you will get there. You observe here, senior mangrove plants. Now halophytes means what? They are special type of the xerophilous plants which grow on saline soils with high concentration of salts like sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, and magnesium sulfate. Such soils are called physiologically dry soil. Water is abundant, but that water is not useful for the growth of the plant. The osmotic pressure is very high. Most of them are also called succulent xerophytes. Their leaves are evergreen, thin, small, and leathery, with water storage tissue. Thick cuticle and well-developed palisade tissues are also there. Sometimes the plant roots are called nematophores. They comes or grow above the soil surface or water surface, which possesses pores or for gaseous exchange. They are called lenticels. Sometimes halophytes show viviparity. Viviparity means germination of seed before they share from parent plant. That condition is called viviparous growth. The universal feature of these plants is selective absorption and tolerance of sodium chloride, and the ability to grow in soil so saline that they are either physiologically toxic to normal plants. Plant cells are bathed in medium of high osmotic potential. Distinguishing characters of that plants are nothing but the here on this slide inhabit in saline soils, tolerant to high concentration of soluble inorganic salts. The plants are affected by these dissolved inorganic salts. The effect may be partially osmotic and partially chemical. To maintain turbidity, cell sap is much more. A vast number of halophytes flora are succulents. Leaves may be thin, small, leathery, and spiny to minimize loss of water in transpiration. They are mostly evergreen, which have water storage tissue, prominent palisade shade, and thick cuticle. They are provided with negative geotropic nematopores. Now see in this diagram, these are the allopathic plants and the root systems are developed just above the ground level. They are pointed, and those pointed structures which are negatively geotropic, they are called nematopores. And that nematopores having the small holes. The small holes are called lenticels, and they are for gaseous exchange. Whatever may be amount of oxygen required for respiration, they take from environment through lenticel, nematopores, and that oxygen goes in the plant body. Some halophytes exhibit vivipary, that is seed germinate before the fruit break of the plants. Salt glands are also present in such plants. Now let us see types of the halophytes. Halophytes are can be divided by Warming. Warming is the name of the scientist in 1909. Into Lithophilus, they grow on rocks near the stones. Samophilus, they grow on sandy region. Pilophilus, third one, they grow in places where the saline saline with the predominance of clay. That means they grow on the mud. Fourth one, salt swamp and salt desert. Such plants are grow in calm water and muddy spots. And fifth one, that is the mangroves. Mangroves or littoral swamp forests grow on seashore in tropical and subtropical area. That means there are total 5 types of the halopathic plants are there. In tropical and subtropical regions, halophytes form a typical seashore vegetation called mangroves. Mangroves are present in Sundarbans on the coast of Mumbai and Kerala. Their osmotic potential is maintained at low level to facilitate absorption of water from sea. Now let us see silent features of mangroves in Kerala region. In Kerala, mangroves are distributed in all the districts except Idukki, Pathanmethia, Palakkad, and Wayanad. Maximum extent is reported from Kannur district. The total extent of mangrove forest in the state Kerala is estimated to be less than 50 km. Now let us see some names of mangrove plant main species: Acanthus silicifolia, Acrostichum arum, Agiceras corniculatum, Abyssinia abyssinalis, Azima tetracantha, Bruguera gimorrhiza, Bruguera cylindrica, Bruguera sexangula, Exocaria agalocha, Exocaria indica, Candelia candle. Some of the example, and the other mangrove plants are there. Now let us see what are the adaptive features of mangroves. They are grow in muddy condition or salty water. That's why they require the more support. Main root system cannot give the sufficient support to the plant body. That's why the aerial portion of the stem becomes shows the stilt root, and these stilt roots are gives the extra support to the plant body. Then another important feature, presence of the nematopores. They are special negatively geotropic roots for absorbing atmospheric nitrogen. Because the percentage of the oxygen in saline soil is very less. That's why these plants develop a modified root system which is negatively geotropic. They comes out on the soil surface and absorb the water. And that nematopore becomes shows the small holes. That small holes are called lenticels. And from lenticel, the root system become absorb the O2 oxygen from environment and supply it to the plant body. Now another Adaptations is nothing but the vivipary. Vivipary means seeds start germination while fruit is still attached to the mother plant. That means seed become germinates on the main parent plant. These plants are mostly shrubby and woody nature. Salt glands are present in leaves and stem and root system. Now let us see some external ecological feature and internal ecological features. Most of the plants have succulent leaves and stem. They have thick wall and heavily cutinized epidermis to check the loss of water. Leaves are loose or shade. The storage of large volume of water and active concentration of salt. Vivipary germination is a unique feature of this plant. In this plant, seeds begin to germinate while the fruit is still attached to the parent plant. Internal ecological features are nothing but the roots are of two types, aerial and subterranean. Aerial roots are called nematophores and some roots are subterranean. Several layer cortical cells are there. If we take the section of nematophore or leaf or stem, cortex is made up of star-shaped or stellate cells. Another feature is cortical cells have peculiar thickened ridges and they are lignified. Cell wall is lignified. That's why they give the mechanical support to the plant body. Peach cells are thick wall with pitted thickening of lignin and contain tannin and oil. Internal ecological features of stems are nothing but the very thick cuticle present even at young stage. Epidermal cells are heavily thickened, filled with oil and tannin. Hypodermis is several layered. Heavily thick wall cells are there. Primary cortex possesses a number of lacunae. It also possesses calcium oxalate crystals. And fifth character is S-shaped, capital S-shaped heavily thickened spicules present in this region, cortical region, and provide mechanical strain to the cortex. Before completing, let us see what are the internal ecological features of leaf. We have seen first of all root system, then stem and leaves. In leaves, if we section, the cuticle is very well developed. Cortical cells are heavily thickened and many contain calcium oxalate crystal. Same to the stem. Stomata confined only to the lower surface and they are sunken similar to the xerophytes. Below the upper epidermis are present several layer thin wall cells that remain filled with water. The outer layers are filled with oil and tannin. Next character is that cells of lowermost layer are mucilaginous and remain embedded into palisade tissue. Mesophyll cells are well differentiated into spongy and palisade tissue and corky areas present on the ventral surface. They are the important points of ecological features of root, stem and leaves. And lastly, these are some exercises on the basis of these halophytes and xerophytes. First question is what are xerophytes? Describe internal adaptation in halophytes. Give the names of different types of halophytes. We have seen 5 types. Describe the internal adaptation in xerophytes and explain the types of xerophytes. Thank you.